Hello, I'm going over lesson 110 now. And remember, you do the evens on this lesson, and on 111 you do the odds. So the first example says Mr. Franklin bought new dresses for $40 each. So the original price is $40. He marked each dress up 150%. What was the price he charged his customers? Well, there's two ways you can do this. He's marking it up 150%. How do we write that as a decimal? That's 1.5, right? So we can find out what 150% of 40 is. So he would mark it up $60. Okay, so then in order to find the price of the dress, we take the original price plus add the markup to it. So each dress would cost $100. Okay, that's one way to do it. Another way you can do it is if it's an increase of 150%. The dress was already 100% of itself, wasn't it? The $40 is 100% of $40. So if you increase 100% by 150%, you now have what percent? 100 plus 150 is now 250%. So if we take 2.5 of the original price, let's see what happens. We get $100 in one step. We don't have to add anything because this 100% represents the $40 and the 150% represents the $60. So by multiplying by 250% instead of 150%, it gives us both of these added together, which takes care of that. So we can do it all in one step instead of finding the increase and then adding it to the original price. Okay, so the next one says, Sybil saw that the coat was marked down 30%. If the original price was $80, what was the price of the coat now? So yes, you can find 30% and then subtract it from 80. Or you can recognize that $80 is 100%, and we're discounting it 30%. So what percent do we actually have now? 70%. So if we multiply 0.7 times 80, that will give us the discounted price. So the discounted price is $56. Okay, and that's all in one step, rather than having to figure out what the discount was and then subtract it. Okay, the last one, that's crazy, says the sale price of the ring was $120. It had been marked down 40% for the sale. What was the original price? Okay, so the sale price is equal to the original price, and if it was it had been marked down 40%. So the selling price, if it was 100%, the selling price was, the original price was 100%. It had been marked down 40%. Then what price was actually left, or what percentage was actually left? 60%. So the selling price is actually 60% of the original price, isn't it? So they tell us that the sales price was $120. So substitute $120 for selling price. And this is 0.6 of the original price. So how do we get the original price by itself? What do? Multiply or divide by 0.6, correct? Okay, so 120 divided by 0.6. Remember, the decimal's always at the end if there isn't one. So add a 0, move this one over once, move this one over once. 6 goes into 12 how many times? 2. And then we bring down a 0, bring down the other 0, because that goes right here. So the original price was $200. All right. Okay, now let's move on to the next lesson. This is lesson 111, and this is commission and profit. So this is what anybody that's in sales typically gets a commission on how much they sell. So the first one says a sales representative was paid a base salary of $300 a month. So if he doesn't sell anything, he's going to get $300 a month. He was also paid a commission of 10% on everything he sold. He sold $26,000 worth of merchandise. So he sold $26,000. He's going to make 10%. So how do we write 10% as a decimal? Right, 0.1. So we're going to multiply this by 0.1. Move it over one place. So he's going to make $2,600 on that sales. But that's just his commission. He gets a base salary of $300 a month. So add 300 to that. So he's actually going to get a total of $2,900 for the month. So you find out what the commission is and add it to any base salary or base paycheck that they get, that they guarantee. All right. Let's see here. The next one says a store owner marks up her merchandise 40%. Her expenses are $5,200 a month. If she paid $16,000 for the goods and goods sold in 1 month, what was her profit? Okay, now you have to remember, expenses get subtracted from your profit, from your gross. Okay, so that's $5,200. We know she spent that much. We're going to have to subtract that at the end. We also know that her markup is her profit. Okay, not what she paid for the goods, just what her markup is. So if she had a total sales of this much, her profit, or her markup, which is what she's going to make off of it, is 40%. So multiply, remember 40% is 0.4. So we're going to find out how much she's making off of these goods. So 0, 0, 0, 24, 6, move it over 1. Okay, so right now she has a profit of $6,400, but she has to pay these expenses. So $6,400 was what she marked the goods up for, minus what her expenses are for the month. So she actually only profited $1,200 for that month. Okay, so find out what the markup is and then subtract the expenses from it. All right, let's see. What's happening here? Let me look and see if there's anything else. Nope, that's it. All right, so that's lesson 110 and 111. They're not due until Friday. On 110 you do the evens, and on 111 you do the odds. Okay, thanks.